Alright, good morning. Happy time zone, all that stuff. So here you got the gift loader stuff working. Hooray! She even posted it on the internet, and looks like Stewie has maybe already taken a look at optimizing it, which is kind of funny. Let's get some music going. So how y'all doing? How's everyone's Friday? We made it. Let me just get like one more thing going here. And then we'll switch over. What time is it for me? It is 8:10 a.m. You can see the little clock in the corner of my screen here. You can't see that. Kinda a loaded question in my case. That is yeah, that's how it goes. Still fighting with my audio setup. The cables are not cabling correctly, and so I occasionally just have to smack them around a little bit. Alright. I'm here. Hi! So yeah, we're gonna go over to the character rig experiments now, and we're gonna keep going with our dev stream stuff. So I know it's been a while since we did an art stream, but I really want to get this dev work done while I have the inspiration still to do it, you know? This month was about 50% drawing and 50% dev, so I think it's a good ratio. You know what? What if I took the intro funsies and I made it... What if I took these and I made it so that, like, they're always on the screen, but they won't maintain, like, a minimum number? And I use that instead of the emote wall. I think that might be a good idea. That way, anytime someone uses emotes in chat, they'll show up bouncing around and stuff. Hello, Matthew? I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. But your presence here reminded me of a thing. So good news. Apparently Flatpak has or FlatHub has decided to ban AI stuff. That's not just like for the project of FlatHub itself. Apparently that's for like projects. They're banning AI projects from FlatHub. This is a really big thing. This is a very, very big and, it's a very thick line in the sand to draw for AI stuff in the open source community. Flatpak is a very big thing. Here, let's go check it out. Wait, Flat Hub. So Flatpak is like a package manager for Linux that runs on like any distro, but FlatHub is the main place where it gets stuff from. So I'm trying to find the article again. I might have to start up my Discord. Hang on a second. So I find this hilarious, and actually very cool. Let me just go to the software and game dev channel in our Discord where Curie linked it earlier today. Game and software dev. Nope. And we're showing stuff on Fetty, so I gotta do it in another tab first. But yeah, I've updated FlatHub's LLM policy to explicitly allow AI usage for both submission process and the applications being submitted. Oh wait, hold on, you can't see the thing. Boop, there we go. We have updated FlatHub's LLM policy to explicitly disallow usage for both the submission process and the applications being submitted. I've had some reservations about it, so the wording before the commit was relatively milder. I know it's an unpopular opinion on the Fediverse, but I do think LLMs are inevitable, and the reality is that you can expect a less organically grown code as time goes on. Blah blah blah, useful tool. Hope to see a large number of apps or authors made some effort beyond prompting an agent. Meanwhile, the number of unpleasant interactions I've had with entitled submitters acting as if they were bestowing their brilliant software upon us idiots who are rejecting it went through the roof last month. I'm tired. As always, we're not applying this retroactively, so any 5 coded apps that were already published will remain available. So let's check the wording. How did things change here? We got an addition saying this policy applies to both the application being submitted into FlatHub submission itself, blah 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 blah. Submissions or changes where most of the code is written by. All right, so this is the old text that they used to have. So they've already had an anti-AI policy. Submissions or changes where most of the code is written by using an AI without any meaningful human input, blah, 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 not allowed. Submissions or changes having low-quality AI-generated or AI-assisted code are not allowed. Applications, and then they just change it to applications containing AI-generated or AI-assisted code, documentation, or other content are not allowed. So they made it more strict. So if you have, like, any AI-generated code in your app that you're aware of, you're not allowed. Anyway, pretty cool. Good job on the FlatHub people, or props to the FlatHub people for making a stand there. I appreciate that. But yeah, we're gonna move that over there. Hello, Bridgewater. How's it going? Yeah, so character rig experiments is the name of the project that we were doing. We're gonna go back to our character editor. See what we were doing last time. Alright, commit message, I don't know. Alright, let's start it on up. And what do we got? So I think I was working on, yeah, we were working on getting the blend trees all hooked up. So blend trees, for those unaware, they look kind of like, one second. I'm gonna open this scene. Also, my console is being spammed because some of this code is editor runnable code. Actually, why scaling? Comment out that line. There. No more debug spam. Alright, so we hop in here. We're going to select the animation tree and go into the animation tree. This is a very simple blend tree, where we are basically combining 2 animations. So if we preview what this looks like, see if we can just run the scene. No, we can't. Can't call method get bone count on a null value. I appear to have broken something very badly. Wait, did I just break it just now? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, great. Oh, right, get skeleton is something in the parent class. So, can I call method get bone count on a null value? But it's a skeleton. That. All right, whatever. I'm gonna show what that blend tree looks like. Let's just go ahead and enable everything. Oh. And then I think we're also gonna get spider walk in there. No, okay, guess not. This should have two animations combining together, but it's not working right now. Oh, wait a minute, we can just preview that right here in the thing. I think animation tree. We got some issues to work out. Yep, we got some issues still. So this would be the way that the animations would be previewed in the editor. We would preview this, and it's not playing the animation. I'm not entirely sure how to make that play the animation. It's active is on. I know I was playing the animation earlier when I was testing. I don't remember how to preview it in the editor. Because this is borked as heck. That's interesting. So, okay, so I'm adding a skeleton. Okay, I'm adding a thing to the skeleton, and then I'm setting a thing. Or sorry, I'm adding like the bone scaling thing to the skeleton, and then I am setting the costume. Setting the costume causes the callback to trigger to rebuild the scene. And then get skeleton on the what? Hello? Skeleton modifier 3D should return apparent skeleton 3D if it exists, which it does exist, so I don't know why it's doing this. Hey Zofty, how's it going? How am I? I'm still kicking. I'm doing alright. I don't know why this error is happening. I don't know why I can't preview this in the editor. It's very frustrating. Is there a play button? Oh, there should be a play button, like, right in here somewhere, right? You can call me Kiri or Junk Raven. You don't have to use my last name. That's yeah. You don't have to do that. It's a little odd when people refer to me as Artemis. It's like being called by your last name. It's like very formal and stuff. And I like to keep things informal, you know? If you're building this scene and previewing it, how do you preview it? How do you preview it? Hey, Shar. Good evening to you, Miss Raven. Ooh, hey, that okay. Hold on. That does sound kind of nice. I don't know. I feel like Raven is a very well used name. Not many people decide to put like junk before that because, you know, Raven sounds dignified, right? It sounds like something like that. And then you put junk in front of it, and then you just get me. Trash burb. It's morning. Well, happy morning. Happy Friday. We made it. How do I make this thing play the animation? What the heck? Got the costume set right there. Oh, right, I remember now. We need to say editable. I think we say editable children on this one. Yeah, we'll do that. Because we have to set the animation player on this, which we can't see. Okay, I'm going to... Oh, wait. Now I can see it. That was weird. Oh, now it's... Oh, okay. All right. Now we're seeing the animation. Why is it not playing, though? Just always carry past from hand to hand. That's playing the animation, but I want to play the animation tree. Okay, so by disabling the editable children on this, I seem to have, like, really porked stuff up. Activate it in the inspector to enable playback. Okay, I have done that. I'm going to save this, and then we're just going to restart the project. That is weird. Hey, there we go. Now things are working. Look at those flailing arms. That is weird that it's working now, considering the fact that this still doesn't have the editable children flag set. I don't think this is a setup that we can necessarily rely on very well. I need a setup where I can actually modify the animation trees in real time. Oh, there we go. And now it's even doing the bouncy thing. It's doing a little hop while flailing its arms around, that's how we want to combine the animations. Okay, That was really weird that it wasn't working at first, but it seems to be working now, so that's good. Still confused about why it was broken in the first place, though. Okay, so, right, we can now edit this animation tree and see what the effects look like on the character, and stuff like that. But we want to be able to swap these animations, because we have a quadruped, and a quadruped jump animation looks very different from a biped jump animation. Might join the Discord since you do game dev stuff. Ah, nice. Yep. Well, hopefully, we'll get to the we have an entryway where you have to like post a little introduction for yourself before being allowed in. It's a kind of hate raid filter, but I'll get to it after the stream and let you in. Zofty has redeemed a
Ew. Ew.
There you go. Also, I'm sorry I missed it the other day, Zofty. I actually refunded your points for it because I missed it. So, we good? Yeah. Actually, wait. I'm gonna blame Kiri for that. Kiri missed it. It wasn't me. I think it was Kiri. I am perfectly consistent on all of my my redeems. Dang it, Kiri! I'll get her. Yeah. No, we don't need rivalry between the altars. That would be bad, or funny. I don't know. Kiri's fine. Right. Okay. So. The next thing that we're going to do is animation swaps. So we have to do at runtime, we have to take this animation graph and we have to go through, and it's not just this, because there's also animation state machines and other, basically anything that can pop into this field right here. This tree root is of type animation root node. So, animation node. It's actually not even animation root node, it's animation node extension. Is that base class for extending animation root nodes from GD. Whoa. Alright, we gotta fix this. Animation node extension exposes the API of animation root node to allow users to extend it from GD script to C# or C++. Class is not meant to be used directly, but to be extended. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, there is animation root node. This thing right here, base class for animation node that hold nodes that hold one or more multiple composite animations. Blah 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 blah. So the way this is structured is we have like the animation node has the animation root node has children that is, we have either an animation node or a blend tree is what we're using right now. So we have a blend tree. This is what a blend tree looks like. We can also have a state machine, which looks a little bit different. We also have a blend space. Here, actually, we have the documentation open for that right now. So these are state machines right here, and you can make it so that it like goes from idle to run cycle to walk cycle to falling cycle or whatever, based on like conditions and all this stuff. And so imagine if your character is in like a crouching position and you want them to run while standing up, right? You have to transition through the states of crouching to standing to running. So they have to get up and then they can run, right? That's what this kind of stuff is. Maybe you only implemented like a death animation for them standing up. So if they're crouching, they have to stand up to die. Things like that, you know. Just just making it so that it smoothly transitions from one to the other through one animation or another and stuff. So yeah, here's blend trees. That's what we're using right now, where we're like combining animations together and all that stuff. And down here, if we go further down here, we will find... What's this? Yeah, so here's a more advanced state machine stuff related to like conditions for how it transitions states and stuff like that. State machine travel. This is really complicated. Okay, here's blend spaces. Here's another thing. So in a blend space, we have, in this case, we have like 4 animations. And it will blend between those animations depending on what these X and Y values are. So you can see as this person's moving this mouse cursor around, these 4 dots represent individual animations that it's blending between, right? Pretty normal stuff so far. You see this in pretty much every modern game engine. That's for blend space 2D. You can also have 1D blend spaces. It just blends between one animation, or you know, it just lerps. Not necessarily lerps, but it blends between animations based on like a single value, right? Okay, so value set for reset animation. That's something we'll definitely have to learn later. Okay, so we got, and then there's root motion, which I think is for like foot placement stuff. Popular technique for animators is to use root skeleton bone to give motion to the rest of the skeleton, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the thing that we're getting to here, the really exciting thing is that when we're talking about like these individual states, these are not necessarily individual animations. These animations here, like the nodes in the animation graph, these are not necessarily just individual animations, and these nodes here in the blend space, those are also not necessarily individual animations. Those can be an entire other blend tree. So you can have a blend space where the nodes in the blend space are actually entire blend trees that then have state machines inside of them. In practice, you would have that completely other way around, right? You'd probably have the state machine is like the root, and then children of that would be a bunch of animation trees, and then inside the animation trees you would have things like blend space for if you have a character like holding a gun and you want them to aim up or down or left or right, you could potentially define all of those as animations. And then use a blend space that just uses the pitch and yaw of the player's current like input, right, to blend between those. You can have a character that doesn't have to move their feet in order to aim, right? So imagine like you're making a character that for a game, and you want to make it so that when they aim their gun, they only rotate their body, like little tiny adjustments to the aim, only rotate their upper torso a little bit until they get far enough that they actually have to move their feet also, you know? Because it doesn't look very realistic if their feet are just like rotating on the ground when they aim. Pretty normal stuff. We can actually see this in Quake 3 Arena, I think. Do I not have Quake 3 installed? Wait. I probably have it installed in Steam. I'll just use the Windows version. Misled and lost between the surface and the... Oh yeah, by the way, Chaos Rain, I want to play that. This is a sequel to the BattleTech cartoon, as far as I can tell. It has a bunch of characters from the BattleTech cartoon in it, and I believe that face right there is probably Nikolai Malthus himself, I would guess. Probably Mr. You Dare to Refuse My Bachal himself. Yeah, check that out. I'm interested in playing that. All right. It's fun that I get to pull up like a really, at this point, a really old game to demonstrate. Bucky, what are you doing? Oh, that looks borked. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna go dev map Q3 DM7, my favorite map. Chase. Let's see. CG third person 1. All right. So now you see how like when I rotate, I can see how the character like rotates the upper torso. This is not as smooth as I was expecting it, but our buddy here moves the gun until I get far enough that the leg placement has to change also. Get a better look at that. So yeah, return. You see how the head's turning? The head is rotating. The gun isn't. And then as we get far enough, whoop, there goes the torso, and then there go the legs. Now, the shooting animation in this game just kind of locks everything together, it looks like. So though if you turn far enough, it looks like it does some animation stuff for that. I don't know. I don't fully understand the animations in Quake 3 Arena, but I think I've demonstrated the point. So anyway, getting back to this, I could have an animation instead of just rotating the entire character. I could have an animation for rotating just the gun, right? The direction the character's looking. We could have a blend space for we could have a blend space for their vertical velocity to blend into like a falling animation. We could like all kinds of options like that. But we can have this be either the root of the tree or way down the tree. We can have all these be recursive and stuff like that. So the problem for us is that if we want to be able to swap an animation based on what the costume system that we're developing does, then we need to be able to swap we need to be able to like swap a biped walk animation for a quadruped walk animation. Anytime that we see that biped walk animation in this entire recursive tree of blend spaces, state machines, and animation trees, we got to go through the entire thing. I think this is actually going to be pretty straightforward. We're gonna have to do a deep copy of the entire graph in order to pull this off. But I don't think these graphs actually represent a significant amount of data. So I don't think this is going to be a huge like memory strain, despite the fact that I think it might be. It's a bit of data to copy every time we instantiate a character, though. So. But yeah, that's the plan. That's why I did the quadruped, and it was like we need to have the quadruped walk cycle be different than the biped walk cycle, and so that's going to be our big next task. And once we've done that, we have kind of all the features that we really want done, right? I think another big thing for this, and which should help out a lot in testing, is to fix up this editing rig. Right now we have a scene where we just have a character with the animation tree like kind of bolted onto it. We need to be able to edit the animation tree here, and so we need access to an editor scene setup that has a costume inside of it. Like a costume skeleton that then has an animation tree that then we can modify in the editor. Right now, we don't really have that. Right? We have this setup, which I think if we save anything in it, and I think if we reload, it'll probably go back to being broken. Yeah, so we get this error. An incoming node's name clashes with costume skeleton / spider skull already in the scene. So that's because it can't tell the difference between the edited children that we use to reference from the animation tree, and I presume anyway. Yeah, so that's a problem. So I think before we do anything related to the actual animation swaps, we need to figure out our editing situation, because editing these animation trees and all the complexity and the state machines and all this stuff, like, that's going to be a really big thing for us that we have to figure out a way to do. We're gonna spend a lot of time editing those animation trees. We want them to look good, and we want to be able to have really precise control over them. So we need a really, really good testing setup, something that allows really fast iteration like this, but with a little bit less chank. Also, did you see that again? Hang on a second. I'm gonna quit out of the project. Or actually, no. This is fine. So what's the best way to do that? The costume skeleton should have its own animation tree. Right? Wait, it should have its own animation tree. Let me see that error message again. We're really kind of like blurring the line a little bit between like thing that do in editor and thing that do in game. Awawa? Awawa. Oh, hello, Kiri. An incoming node's name clashes with costume skeleton / spider skull already in the scene, presumably from a more nested instance. The less nested node will be renamed. Please fix and resave the scene. Awawa? Sarah Savi has redeemed a... Oh, wow. Oh my god, y'all are adorable. Heck. Love it when you do that. Oh. Oh, actually, hold on a second. That's interesting. Did I see that correctly? As I switch from the animation tree to the animation back and forth, that How are we gonna set up a proper testing rig for this? Ow! Forgot the name of the Robo Gal. Oh, me? I am Rin Junkraven. You can call me Rin or Junkraven. Don't call me Junkie. That's quite rude. What if we... Costume skeleton. So we're not generating the animation tree in costume skeleton, right? Oh, we are. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait. That's not right. This is a tool script. I don't know where this animation tree comes from. Like, we have it... How is... What is... What? What? Okay, hold on. We're creating a new scene from scratch. Okay. Test, edit, thingy. It's thingy now. We added the Y on the end. Okay, so we're gonna add a costume skeleton. Okay. The costume is going to be... one of these two that I can't remember. Test costume? No. It's going to be... temp costume. And then it's going to take a while to load. Uh-oh. Oh! No, it just crashed. Okay. Well, that ain't good. We managed to crash the entire editor. Cool. Still nicer to use than Unreal Engine. I think I'm starting to get burnt out on Unreal Engine work. You're gonna crash on me again? Seriously? Yeah, like, professionally, I think I'm starting to get a little bit burnt out on Unreal Engine. It's just everything... It's so hard to get Unreal Engine to work at all. It's very frustrating. Okay. Costume, skeleton... I've just been dealing with, like, hey, you know, get the... Oh, did we get the thing? We got the thing! It's working. Nice. Where is our animation tree? Huh. I think we just set the owner on this. Let's get rid of that. So yeah, it automatically adds the automatically adds that to the thing. Why is that not considered like a... It automatically adds that, but it doesn't add the other one down here? What the heck? What? 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 Okay, let's try that again. Alright, make a costume skeleton. Costume, quick load. We got a whole bunch of errors. Add animation tree. Right there at the bottom. Why? Where's the animation tree, though? I don't see it. We managed to add the entire skeleton to the scene, but we haven't added the... That's really weird. That's really weird. That's weird, right? We're creating a new skeleton. Instantiate the new skeleton scene. Remove this. Oh, editor hack so we can edit animations. Okay, wait. Okay. Right. That hack may have been working against us. Calculate cached values. There's no skeleton. Well, we added it to the skeleton already. Get skeleton, add child, unapplier, which is a silly name for it. Why? What? The order of things happening here is not good. Let's call process on it really quick just to see if that oops, that's not what I want to do. So we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of all these error messages. Let's try that again. Costume skeleton. Okay. Let's set the costume. Invalid access to scene or blah 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 blah. Correct foot placement for leg scale on base object of type nil. What? The costume isn't set at all yet. Okay, so if we don't have a costume, then we can't do anything here. If costume null return. Where do we get costume from? Delete that again. Alright, new costume skeleton. Set, quick load, temp costume. All these errors we're not going to worry about. Owner must be an ancestor in the tree. Okay, that should fix that. Delete that one more time. Recreate it, costume skeleton, costume, quick load, blah 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 blah, temp costume. Okay, there we are. Good. I don't know, why is it... Oh, I think we have some, like, animation thing that plays by default. Okay. Now if we go to editable children on this... Editable... There's no editable children option. Damn it! Frick! Okay, you know what? We'll just create the animation tree, and then we'll set the owner to the parent. Gotta name your heckin' layers. There's no layers to name though. Also, hey Stewie, how's it going? How'd the GIF stuff go? What do you? First of all, what do you think of my GIF loader? Oh, thanks for the hydrate. I saw a thing pop up saying one of my friends is playing Citizen Sleeper. Good game. I haven't finished it yet. Let's exit Steam. Maybe developing outside of a game engine would be better. I have done that many, many, many times, and at the moment I prefer this, so. I grew up in the DOS era. Like, I've made my own games entirely in C. And QBasic. Let's see. Runner equals... Alright, let's try this. Well organized, but a bit unoptimized. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I was grappling with the complexity of the format a lot, learning it as we go. I think I definitely favored, or we definitely favored the making things really clear over making things really fast. Because every time we had to go back and modify something because we screwed something up, like little LZW decompression, like you know, quirks and stuff like that, it helped to understand what was going on there. Nice to be able to just optimize and replace individual components, though. I think I should be able to make it quite fast. Ooh, nice. All right. We still have to implement the the GIF text renderer thing, because GIF does support GIF format. The image format does support text rendering, except in every single modern decoder for GIF. Imagine the meme potential that we have slept on for so many years. Like, what is even happening here? Like, we'd have had text embedded into our GIFs this entire time, but modern decoders just fail at it. They just refuse to even bother. So I will fix that. The text renderer shouldn't be too... I'm just gonna rely on, like, Jodot's font rendering and stuff, so... Hey Jen, how's it going? Alright, there's our animation tree. And in theory, we should be able to now modify the animation. But if we save this right now, we will end up with conflict. Why is that? That's a very high number there. Got D&D tonight? Nice. Hey, did anyone see the that? Wait a minute. Why is this not? Oh, right. Whoop. Okay, I didn't know you could set that to higher than 1. Anyone see the Neon Odyssey ad music video thing? All that. I really want to try out that module. That looks really cool. All right, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna close it. and then we are going to open it again. I'm gonna close the editor and restart it. Oh, interesting. We got that error again. Incoming node's name clashes with costume skeleton / spider skell, already in the scene, presumably from a more nested instance. The less nested instance will be renamed. Please fix and resave the scene. So the tool script for the costume skeleton has already managed to instantiate the skeleton, and then it's trying to load in the thing that we saved along with the scene. This is going to be a problem if we... Made a little thing that downloads, caches an arbitrary number of animated emotes from BTTV and decodes all of them. Nice. Okay, so we have... So, costume skeleton instance is created as part of the load. It then instantiates its own costume, its own skeleton. But then the one that got saved with the scene loads in, and the one that we are instantiating at runtime through the tool script will be saved next time when we save the thing. And I don't really want it. I don't want it to be saved. How do we prevent this from happening? Wish there was like, There's no transient property for things. Huh. So basically the problem is the tool script needs to instantiate stuff dynamically. The scene, when we save the scene, I don't want that stuff to be saved with it. Hey Stewie, got any ideas? Basically all that stuff should get blown away, or it should not end up in the saved file. It should be able to be instantiated again when we bring in that tool script again. I want to be able to just, like, exclude nodes from being saved. Now it's time to go. Okay. Maybe we could just, like, delete the object. If there's a notification for, Does mean the snake is red too? Unfortunately, I have fairly normal leggies. For now. For now. There have been times. There have been times. There's art out there of me with a snake tail. You would change the color of the overlay? No, the overlay is still the same. It's post-enter tree. We could just, I mean, we could just make it so that it, like, defers the scene creation, or defers the costume skeleton, like the instantiation of everything. The goal looks different. Wait, what? No, I mean, I didn't change anything else in the scene. No, the overlay is still the same. It's... Okay, path renamed, parented, unparented, paused, unpaused, enter tree, exit tree. Editor pre-save. Notification received right before the scene with the node is saved in the editor. Only sent in the Joda editor and will not occur in exported projects. Yeah, that's what we need. We need to nuke the entire save skeleton there, and then probably remake it after. Thankfully, there's a notification for that, so... let's see. We need to nuke the... We need to nuke the skeleton. We need to nuke all of the child objects to this. What are we working on today? We're working on the character art pipeline stuff that I've been kind of poking on and off since a long time ago. The gift decoder stuff, Kiri finished that up yesterday, so aw, thanks Milejan. Tokipona is acceptable language for moderation purposes. Expected into block after if block. Okay, so yeah, we need to get rid of the... How's this gonna work? If we get rid of the... If we get rid of the animation tree... And we're gonna lose saved settings on it, aren't we? Because we might be overwriting the animation tree with a different root node in order to like edit stuff. So we actually want to keep the animation tree around. Yeah. I think we this is tricky. There's some nasty ordering stuff happening here. Here, let me show off the actual program so far. This is what my character editor looks like right now. You basically select a skeleton and then a bunch of bits, which it'll have like default bits. I'm gonna leave that one off. And then let's see, spider dance. There's the spider legs. The animation stuff is temporary at the moment, so don't worry about that. But yeah, so you can select you know, different like character parts and stuff, different base skeletons, and then different root animation nodes. And then we're also gonna have a section for animation swaps within that root animation node. And this is gonna let us have like character customization, both like player-facing character customization for a game with a much simpler UI than this, and also being able to create modular characters that we can then edit. We're also going to have bone scaling in here. We already are using some bone scaling right now. These legs are actually half the scale that they should be, just to test the foot placement. In fact, we could... well, I don't have the bones. I don't have any bone scaling UI yet, so we just kind of like hard code the numbers and try them to test that. But let's go... Yeah, here, let's go and edit the default costume values. You can just get rid of all this. Boop. And do all the same stuff. Select the spider skeleton. We're going to leave the blend tree there. Just going to add everything in the scene. And then add... Spider walk or spider dance? Anyway, as you can see, despite the longer legs, we're still correctly placing the feet on the ground. This is actually tough, because the root bone of this thing is the hips. So it's not just a matter of, like, if we scaled up the legs without doing that kind of adjustment, then then you can actually see what happens when we uncheck a box up here. Uncheck the... Wait, no. That's... Why is that? Why was that working even though I... Oh my god, okay. Oh, now it's checked by default. Weird. Turn everything on. Oops. Got to make it so that the skeleton is taken into consideration. Okay, when we uncheck this, you can actually see what happens. So the hips are now moving the same way they did in the original animation, but the legs are no longer able to hit the ground because we scaled down the legs, right? So this just basically figures out the leg scaling, and then adjusts the hip movement scale based on that scaling. That was a tough one to figure out, but we did. So now we can have arbitrary leg bone scales and stuff for our characters, which is going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. That's a lot of errors. Yeah, so right now we're trying to figure out a way where we can have we want to be able to, like, edit the animation trees, like we do right here. Here in the editor, we need to be able to modify these animation trees. The problem is that this scene is kind of a janky mess. So we have some code that runs in the editor and some code that we just want to run in game. And right now, the code that runs in the editor is actually interfering with the code that would run in the... I have an idea. Excuse me. Interfering with the with some of the code that runs in the editor. So for when we save, we're gonna nuke everything. So we're gonna nuke all the child objects. Okay. Fourth paladin. Okay, so that'll nuke all the child objects, and then when we say post save, we'll just rebuild the scene. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this editing hack also. Now, in this scene here, we're gonna make a thing, like an editor flag on this costume skeleton that makes it so that it will not instantiate the animation tree, and we're gonna instantiate our own animation tree to replace that. Say use this to disable automatic animation tree creation in the editor. So we can inject a temporary one for everyone. Oof. Is the animation tree deleted later on, though? I mean, it's deleted every time we save, but I think we might need to... oh. Okay, that purges all the old stuff. Great. Okay, this should make it so that we don't end up, like... saving the skeleton with the scene, I think. So let's first of all I'm gonna go look at this scene really quick in a text editor. Blah 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 blah. Costume skeleton. Create animation tree. Blah 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 blah. Costume equals blah. Okay, that's already. All right. It's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna close this, and we're gonna reopen Jodot. Pop back in here. Incoming node's name clashes with costume skeleton / spider skeleton already in the scene. Seriously. Oh, that might be one of the other ones that we still have open. Also, we forgot to uncheck the box. Also, I think Jodot's about to crash. Cool. Boop. Well, we made it so that it crashes when we try to save stuff, so that's horrible. Frick. Hey, it didn't pop up the error this time. Nice. That means that we might not even need that checkbox. Oh wait, no, that's not related to the checkbox. I forgot. Okay, so we're gonna uncheck create animation tree, and then we are. I think when we uncheck that box, I think we also might need to. You know what? We'll save it. We'll fail to save it. Crap. Is he getting, like, stuck in this loop or something? Don't like that. Nope. Okay, we're gonna disable this code down here. Now we can save it just fine. Let's go in. Create animation tree, save. That works fine. Yeah, this code is was clearly screwing up. But why? Oh, I give you the head pats and the hydrate. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the post-save part of that. We're just gonna leave the pre-save part. Like this. And then we're gonna try saving? Yeah? No? Oh. Oh, hey, look at that. That's... Okay, cool. Save, and it's gone. Which is what we expect, right? Close the editor, restart the editor. Let's add something random to the scene. Mesh instance 3D. Make it a box. No, that's not a box, it's a cylinder. Whatever, who cares? Save. Close. Restart. I think we're good. Nice. Okay, so why is it failing to rebuild the scene on load? Or like post save? Received right after the scene is with the node is saved in the editor. Notification will only be sent in the Joda editor, not in... I wonder if it's like instantiating the nodes and then it thinks that it has to save again or something. Now let's do a... Can we do it like a call deferred on that? I think call deferred works differently in... Last time I used call deferred was probably back in like Joe.3. Alright, I think we're good. Yeah, the call deferred was the right call there, I think. Get it? The right call? No, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, so we have create animation tree is turned off, which is great. Now all we got to do is we're gonna add a script here. We're gonna call it test edit thingy. Sure, that sounds good. We're going to create our own animation tree. And then do what with it? We have to set the animation player for the animation tree to the costume skeleton's animation player. But every time that thing gets a new costume, we need to redo it basically, or remake that connection. So I think in costume skeleton we're also going to make a signal. Costume changed. This is going to be called... Should we call this before or after we rebuild the scene? I mean, obviously we need to call it after for this case. Because that's when we're going to be hooking up the thing. Okay, so called after a costume change and scene is scene rebuild. All right, costume change dot init. Okay, and now if we look at the signals on that one, that should now have a signal for costume change. We're going to connect that to test edit thingy on costume skeleton costume changed. We're gonna head back here. We're actually gonna add the animation player or animation tree to the scene here. And it's got a little warning on it. That's fine. No root animation node for the graph is set. That's fine. We're not worried about that right now. We're gonna say animation tree dot animation anim player. I say anim instead of animation just for that one. Weird. Costume skeleton dot get animation player. Okay, all right. I'm gonna. It's not a tool script. Will that run? No, I don't think it will. I think we got to make this a tool script also, which is fine. That's actually normal. Except it's not assigning. See, we just need to restart the editor. Every kill is stronger, will keeps getting stronger, and the thrill. Such control is warm, but still. Honestly, no life looks not to me, a fading light no one can see. Yeah, it's not it ain't doing the thing. Oh, I just leveled up. Nice. They just like a distant sun hidden by the cloud. Found a way to surface and to speak my truth aloud. Be powerful, stand fast and proud. Unless, oh, does it not emit the signal when I set this? Oh, well, there's my debug message. Oh, that's a path. Okay, right. Bloop. Okay. So we got the animation tree, we got the costume skeleton, we are going to remove that, we're going to quick load and bring in that, and then it's all hooked up! Nice! Awesome! Now all we gotta do is quick load that test blend tree, and if we hop back into our scene, we have the animations blending. Hooray! Awesome. Awesome. Cool. We can go ahead and, like, you know, modify all the little parameters here. So, like... I wonder if I can rename that. It'd be kind of weird for it to just be called add to, right? We should be able to, like, set... Can I set, like, parameter names here? No, we just have to remember that add to means... Oh wait, no, there it is. I'm a dummy. Add to bloop. We save that. Now if we look at the parameters on the animation tree, we have add to bloop. Okay, so those parameters we're going to be adjusting in real time as part of animating the character. But in the editor, we're going to be messing around with those like just right here, pretty much. I think this is a good editor setup for this. I think we got it. I want to add a text node with a bunch of notes. Label 3D text. Set costume in costume skeleton.
No, actually, it's gonna hurt like a
Set blend. Set. Is it? Oh, and I see why this wasn't showing the right things before. It's showing the animation node in the tree when we actually. I just want to see the animation tree. Okay, the inspector was pointing at the wrong thing before, and I was getting real confused about that. I figured it out. Okay, so we're gonna set the tree root in. Set tree root in animation tree. Can I left justify this? This is bothering me. Set root tree root in animation tree that you want to edit. Set to use as a test costume. Alright, set tree root in animation tree that you want to edit. Edit the animation to the animation root node derived object that you want to edit. Animation node blend tree. Let's do that. Okay, how are we looking? That's getting a little bit wordy. Let's move this up, and we'll give it some word wrapping. That does nothing. How do I turn on word wrapping? Auto wrap mode. There we go. Okay. Arbitrary? Ooh, that looks... No, that's bad. We'll do word. Or word smart. Set costume 1. 2. there like a second line indent thing? I see that I can't have like empty lines in here. That's frustrating. 3. Use what was it? Label this instructions. On the animation tree, use the parameters.
To be drowning in love for yourself is to offer your heart to the earth. All God's creatures leaving friends alive.
Hey, Lero! How's it going? Okay, there's our instructions for how to use this scene. Oh no! Jodot! No! No, why would you crash? No, don't crash! No!
Vanilla Coke, I drink that. Welcome, I wear that. Dash Records, I listen to that.
When did we last save? Silly V-word. Needed a nap, yeah, seriously. Okay, looks like we got, oh, got a hydrate. Did we get another hydrate? Wait, hold on, how old is it? Yeah, that's a new hydrate. Hello, Mnemotic. How's it going? I'm gonna do the thing with the stuff. Guess this could be actually a little bit wider. Let's go away. Poof. It's new eye cases. Ooh, nice. Ugh. Ow. Blech. I'm glad we got this scene set up. We still have to go through and actually do all the animation swaps. Bleh. Oh crap! I just realized one way this isn't gonna work. Frick. If we add the animation swaps from the costume to the animation tree that we're editing, then we will not be able to save the edited thing that we're editing, because it'll have the swaps already applied, and we don't want those swaps being applied there. We will have to go back and revert the edits to that tree from the animation swaps. Damn it. Frick. Oh, how the hell are we gonna handle this? How are we gonna make it so you can actually preview it, and then... I guess we could just add another... Remember some git surgery? Ooh, I'm sorry. I guess I could add something to the notification pre-save to like revert those changes. But if we end up like 2 animations that have the same swap, then we'll have lost information. It's not going to be like a one-to-one mapping anymore between like the original animations and the swapped animations. And I think it would probably be pretty handy to be able to swap multiple animations to the same thing. So like, let's say I want to do like let's say I'm feeling lazy and I have like the bipeds in my game have like run and walk animations, but the quadrupeds, they just have one animation that we play at different speeds. So we'd end up with the walk and run animations swapped to a quadruped walk animation. And then we would, if we tried to swap that back, all we would see is the quadruped walk animation and not be able to tell which one is originally a biped walk animation or a quadruped walk animation. So that sucks. How the hell are we gonna work around that? We could keep a list of all the animation swaps that we've applied. Like which nodes specifically have the swaps. And we might be able to revert it, but it's gonna be a little bit dicey having a bunch of nodes with animation swaps applied that we're then editing and then expecting to be able to cleanly unswap those animations back. Yeah, this is gonna be complicated. I have to go to the bathroom also, so I will be right back. Bloop. All right, I am back. Hello. Yeah, this is tough. This is gonna be real tough. How we fix this? Do we just disallow editing stuff with animation swaps? Do we? I don't see an easy solution here. My clever plan. 2 of my clever plans have come together and collided in a way that is horrifying and will not work. Hi Loki. Hey buddy, hold on. Loki needs attention. I'm just gonna hold him like a baby for a bit. While I think about... I reconsider my life decisions on this project. I think the only option that we have, and it's going to be messy, I think the only option that we're going to have is to have the animation swaps, force them to be a one-to-one mapping of animations to, like, animations to swap animations. That way we would, that's the only way that we're going to be able to swap them back afterwards. Ow. We haven't even implemented the animation swap system yet, and I'm already running into, like, issues with it. Damn it. Frick. Hi Loki. Ow. No, don't get in my face when I'm streaming. Yeah, hi. Okay, hi. Just get up on the cat cam. Come on, do it. Do it. No? That's where my keyboard has to go. My keyboard has to go on my lap like that. Why are you doing this? Dummy. We could reconsider the entire animation swaps system, I guess. We could maybe add... Oh, it's gonna be a pain in the ass if we have to, like, actually swap out individual nodes in, like, animation trees and state machines and stuff, because those types, messing with the graphs on the at runtime is dicey. We can. Look, he's streaming out. Thanks for the bits. Yeah, it's his stream. You don't see what my problem here is, right? Like, we have to modify the graph in order to preview what it's going to look like with all the settings in place. We want to modify the graph in its kind of, like, original form. Come on, dummy. What? Where'd you get so heavy? There we go. I don't actually expect anyone to understand what's going on here. But we're gonna have, like, we have this animation tree that looks like this. And we have these, like, jump and flailing arms, but then I want to be able to say, like, hey, this costume, this character specifically has, like, like, quadruped jump animation, right? And that needs to be handled on the costume system, like back in the editor. So this needs to be generic across all. This graph needs to be generic across all the different, like, character models. But then we're going to go in and swap animations like these with more specialized animations. That thing, again, a thing that you set in the costume editor. The problem is, I want to be able to preview this here in the editor with those animations going, which means having those animations set right here and not the generic ones. That is a problem, because then if we saved it with those values set, then it would set it for everything. Unless... Oh! Wait a minute. I have a plan. It's not a good plan, but it is a plan. What if we made... is the actual animation type here? An animation. That's a lot of functions that it does. I was gonna say, like, what if we actually just made an animation that then redirected to one animation or another internally, and then we could set this animation. Animations are just data containers and must be added to nodes such as an animation player to be played back. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. So this is just a bunch of data. If we redirected all these queries to another animation at runtime, we wouldn't even have to modify the animation graphs. Or instead of doing it at the animation level, we have the animation node animation node. The animation node animation node. Yeah, that words. I wonder if we could rewrite this and just add a field on it for what the swap came from. Why did you join Twitch? I started on Twitch. Also, Twitch has been okay to me, mostly. I mean, you know, having to be an affiliate to have like custom emotes and redeems and stuff was kind of bad. The moderation has been mostly okay with respect to like how they handle issues that we've had to deal with. Most of the hate rate accounts have been banned pretty much within an hour of those coming in. I wish they could do something about them. Wish they could do something about them, like doing the actual bot signups, but you know, anytime you have a website where people can just sign up and then say whatever they want, you're probably gonna have that issue. I mean, it is an Amazon-owned, like, proprietary platform and all the baggage that comes with it, but I like streaming on Twitch. Twitch is actually okay from my point of view. It was actually worse when I joined because they wouldn't allow multi-streaming back then, and then they relaxed the rules on multi-streaming. So that's why I'm on Onwcast now. They have their moderation is. The moderation as far as, like, content and stuff is also, like, a little bit vague. I don't like that. But, yeah, I mean, it's better than YouTube. I would rather be here than YouTube. I'm on both right now. Actually, I haven't checked if there's any YouTube messages on the stream. There are not, because nobody pays attention to it on the YouTube side. Yeah. Yeah, it's better than YouTube. Also, that's where the whole community is. The whole VTubing community is here. I would not be where I am in terms of, like, the channel growth and stuff if I wasn't on Twitch, you know. Twitch was, like, the least bad option between Twitch and YouTube. And Onwcast, honestly, at the time. Because, like, with Onwcast, if I were just on Onwcast, I would have zero channel growth. There would be, like, one person occasionally popping in to say hi or something, which is what it is right now. Right now on Twitch, we got 44 viewers right now on Twitch. We can also raid and share the communities with each other and stuff. So, you know, every time I raid out to another cool, like, Twitch streamer or something, that is a feature that Onwcast, despite probably being technically relatively simple to implement, given all the existing activity pub features and stuff inside of it, still doesn't exist. I think if Onwcast had a raid feature, we'd probably have a lot better discoverability of people on there. Right now, all we have is the Onwcast directory, unfortunately. Now, if I ever had to stop streaming on Twitch for one reason or another, I imagine the numbers on Onwcast would probably go up, at least in the short term, from people who still want to watch the streams coming over there, or like people from the existing community, but there would not be any growth on top of that. And then those people would probably taper off as they, you know, Twitch has a bunch of like things built in for continuing engagement. Raids are actually one of those features. Keep someone on the platform. I think raids keep people on the platform in a non-harmful way, because it's just like, you know, but like, you know, on Onwcast, I think the number of people visiting would probably just die out after a while, as people stop bothering to show up to my own Onwcast instance specifically and stuff. So, but yeah, I like Twitch in general. There are, of course, there's like another side of it that's full of like nasty, toxic streamers and stuff, but we don't talk to them. And a lot of the time they end up getting banned too, which is funny. Temporarily banned, but banned nonetheless. There is at least some enforcement. When you see like a really big Twitch streamer get banned for saying something really horrible, you know that at least they're doing something where YouTube would be like, no, that person's making us money. We're not going to ban them. What are you talking about? I wonder if blend spaces can do a really quick create resource. Hi, Bucky. Are you gonna do the thing where you jump right in front of my face? Alright, let's try the blend space. New animation node, blend space, blah 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 blah. We're gonna select this. For the animation tree, we will set it to... Thank you for the bits, and thank you for showing Bucky. Quick load. Alright, here's our blend tree. No triangles exist. Something, something, something. Add animation. Idle. Jump. Okay, so what type is the thing in here? Wait a minute. Because we can definitely add blend spaces and blend trees and state machines inside of there. So I have a feeling that it's probably using animation node animation under the hood. So, but let's go up to animation root node and go down to animation node blend space 2D. Virtual 2D space on which an animation root nodes are placed. Okay, yeah, they just use animation root nodes. Cool. I'm forming a plan. And that is to insert a right here in animation root node. This thing right here. I think Can I make a derived type from animation node animation? Because then if I can, then we can just make an animation that stores the original thing before the swap. Let's attempt this. Create new. It's gonna be a script. It's gonna be derived from animation node animation. And then we'll call it animation node swappable animation. me skip this song. Too raw for channel right now. Okay, we have animation, extends animation node animation class name, animation node swappable animation. And then all that we're gonna do is have a I guess it's just a string name. String name our original animation. So type string name. Does this object type also get can this do things with signals, or does it get like a notification? Notification. It does get notifications. Notifications. Every object in Joda implements a notification method. Its purpose is to allow blah 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 blah. Let's see what this looks like in an actual animation tree. So let's add an animation. Oh, this is probably gonna also have to be a tool script, isn't it? One tree. What did I name this file? Animation node swappable animation. Yeah, I think we might have to make this a tool script. Can we actually add it to the thing now, though? Add animation. That's not gonna let us actually add that, is it? Damn it. And it's not going to let us load it, so how do we... Damn it! Oh, it's so close. It's so close. I just need to be able to add the animation nodes swappable animation to the thing. Maybe we can... we'll make it a resource type. Okay, alright. So we got original animation and we got animation. How... Dang it, Stewie, are you there? Please? There's a filtering on this that on like, properties like this that I don't... Godot... Property... Filter enough? No, property filter strings. I can never remember how to do this. I do it all the time with like I've done it before with like bone names and stuff, but const list of strings for a selector without using an enum. Validate property hint, blah 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 blah. Validate property, set the hint and hint string. override this method to customize existing properties. For every property info that goes through this method, except for properties added with the get property list, dictionary contents the same as in get property list. Hello, lobster agent. Need to make an inspector plugin? What? Oh boy. Oh wait, there's a hint string, property hint enum, hint string. Huh? Hint string. There we go. Okay, hold on, I got it. Property hint enum. And then we use for a string name. Okay, I think we got this. So this is actually correct. So yeah, we're gonna go here. So properties.append, property type is, oh wait, type hint is property hint enum, and we're just going to copy this out of here. I'm gonna set that there for now before we actually get the list of animations out of it. And then we'll get this thing, and then we will not actually find the thing. Oh, there we go. All right, and there's our little enum. So now we just have to get the list of animations off of the animation player. How do you get the animation player? Animation node animation, blah, 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 blah. Inherits animation node. Okay. Get... Let's skip this song too. Ah. Animation. That's the only reference to animation player in all of the animation nodes, so we can't actually get the animation node to validate against. Damn it. What's that typing thing? It's called ridiculous coding. It also has like levels and experience and stuff. We're at level 23 right now. Get animation, processing animation tree instance ID. Okay. Here's a list of object ID of the animation tree that owns this node. Is there a list of, like, animations? No. Animation... Wait, animation node animation must be able to access this. Right, so what's the property hint on animation look like? We're probably gonna have to look at the source code. It's a Jodot plugin, yeah. Ah, heck with it. Thanks for recommending Endeavor OS. Oh, I'm glad it's working out for you. Awesome. Class animation node animation is in animation blendtree.h. So this is actually the master branch for Jodot, so this is going to be slightly different, but I think we'll probably still have info about how that property is stored if my text editor loads. Unfortunately, the variable is called animation, which if we search in this file, there's the property. I think we're gonna have like validate property. There we go. Okay, get editable animation list. What the hell is that? Not something that exists in GDScript. Damn it! Frick. Frickety frick. Ow. Maybe we should make it so that you can, like, there's just a button that lets you copy from the animation to the original animation. That would... Oh, we're so close. We just have to get the animation list somehow. Ah! We can get it from the property hint for the animation. We can just copy that. We don't have to generate it ourselves. We can just copy the property hint from the existing one. No religion, no real place. I grow weary of these walls. So tired of it all. These days, here where evil has no face. It is hidden from my eyes. Unseen or in disguise. Welcome to a world where you always get the girl. You may lose a fight or two, but you'll win if you get through. Oh, okay. Our other props. Array of dictionaries. For other prop in other props, if other prop dot name equals animation, then we're gonna say print got the property hint, blah 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 blah, whatever. I'm to this space, no religion, no real place. I grow weary of these walls, so tired of it all. Face up and challenge all you ever knew since you could crawl. Was looking somewhere else when it's all inside yourself. Wanna play into my crash, no! Frick! A world that never ends, I keep coming back for more. It's not crashing, it's just infinitely looping, which is basically like crashing. Ooh. Cheating at ridiculous coding by stealing XP. It's only one of us is coding at a time. It's not like we're multi-boxing the same editor or whatever. Oh my god, are you serious? Okay, we have to not do whatever we just did here. Apparently. Because now it's just okay. I'm gonna have to open that text file, and it feels dirty editing GD script stuff outside of the editor. But you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? But also, yes, I like Machine Supremacy a whole heckin' bunch. They are actually my favorite band ever. Okay, will that work? Can we do this? Are you gonna crash on me? Stack underflow engine bug. Oh. Ooh, no. Oh no, it's calling validate property in the frick.
The idea of reincarnation comes from the natural sense that there is more to this world than we can taste or touch.
It's calling validate property and get property list, causing a stack overflow. Because I just want to get the other stupid property, freaking frick. Alright, I know a really gross workaround. Var, don't recurse property list. This is... That didn't work! Because we forgot to actually set it to something before we... Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god. Okay. I hate this so much. Well, thankfully we didn't get a chance to save that, so I guess we just have to redo it all from scratch now. Okay, we're disabling the tool script part of that. Okay, let's try that again. Var don't recurse property list bool equals true if no, don't save. Good. Works. Nice. Awesome. There we go. That's we did it. Invalid access to property key hint strings on. That's because that's a yeah. What do we got now? Is it working? We got the thing. We got the thing. We got. It's not working. Freaking frick. Why are you like this? Why are we like why? This has a thing. There's the hint string. Now it's working. Okay. Okay. Yes, we did it! We did it! We got it! We got the stupid list. We got the stupid list showing up. Okay. Oh my god! Why was that so hard? Ah! You feel unfulfilled if it worked the first time? Actually, I wonder if we could just call validate property on... Wait a minute. We don't even need to do the stupid recursion thing, do we? Yeah, no, we don't. We can call validate property directly on... Maybe? Something bright, walking the shadows away at the night. I know once a place like this, the world burns and still I can exist. Okay, we got SCF. Okay, that did not work. So it doesn't look like we can actually call validate property on that one. Unless, wait a minute, can we do super? Okay. Ooh, that extra doesn't work. Can I call a parent class's virtual function validate property because it hasn't been defined? Okay, yeah, so we do have to do this weird gross hack. Okay. This just prevents, call this underscore don't. It's from stack overflowing in validate property when we try to find the property we want to copy the hint string from. Validate property for the original animation field just so we can copy the values from the animation field. Okay. Okay. Find the original animation. Now I think we can actually say we could maybe do a little interesting switcheroo maybe. I'm not sure if we could. Where do we actually use the animation in this? There we go. Okay, we use the value. This uses the value directly. In p-test only, force process for. Okay. Right, here we use the value directly, so we don't call any getters or setters or anything like that, which means that I would not be able to override or redirect that in any way. So we have to set the value when that property changes, I guess. When original animation changes, we probably want to update the current animation. Certainly when we instantiate this thing and we have just finished loading, we probably want to force animation to be the original animation. Like by default. That way you only have to set one field on this. Also, what does this look like inside of an animation tree? Like, what if we go back to into this and we add a swappable animation? We don't actually get an opportunity here to edit the animation. It has a field for the animation, but it doesn't have a field for the original animation on the graph right here. So we're gonna have to do some interesting stuff. I think, you know what? We might actually just have to add a. We're gonna have to pull it from the animation field. We're gonna have to pull the original animation from the animation field when we first initialize this thing. And then save it back to the animation field immediately before. We're gonna have to add a second field. Oh, gotta hydrate. Thank you. The tricky part is getting all the swaps applied and unapplied at the right times, basically. Let's see if this works. That did not work. It's because I spelled it wrong. Yep, that would do it. Soft animation is set to null. Okay, there we go. So we have original animation, swapped animation, and then we have the animation. And so we're basically going to set the animation from this depending on like what is swapped. So this is going to be our temporary animation swap. Usually set at runtime and not saved. Saved. Are there signals on this? Animation node removed, animation node renamed. These are signals for the animation tree. So we don't really have any way of setting. How do we respond to like this animation, the animation changing, I guess? Do we get notifications on this? Original. Yeah, we're not. We don't even get. We don't get. Oh, jeez. We don't get notifications for when things actually change. Is there any way that we can react to this? Oh, we can react. We can't react to animation being set or got because that's something that's defined in the C++ layer. So I think. Yeah. So yeah, the trick is now just figuring out when to swap those animations over. Oh, wait a minute. That was weird. Okay. At least we have a place to store the original animation when we do animation swaps, so that's good. Will we get a... We won't get like a pre or post save in this either, will we? Nope. No notifications for that. We're just gonna have to like manually activate and deactivate those swaps. I'm just trying to decide whether should the original animation live in the animation field or the swapped animation field. The original animation to use. Let's say this is not saved. say this is pulled from animation, from the animation property when a swap is performed. Maybe we just don't do this at this level. Maybe we only do this at the level of the animation tree, or the actual like scene thing here itself. That's when we do the swap back, or swap to and from. It's like what should be our source of truth here? Should it be this original animation parameter, or should it be the animation value on the animation? Because we don't have a good way of reacting to one of those or the other changing, or saving and reloading. So we really want the animation to be the correct animation when we save the scene, or just the original animation, the unswapped animation when we save the scene. But if we can't do that, we can still have the original animation. We can still have the original animation store that value. I think. We're gonna have to add a like pre and post save thing, probably to right here, that will go through and unswap any animations on the animation tree. We're gonna have a fix up thing right here for this to work. So this is starting to actually build this up into a full on like thing, I guess. But if we do that, then I think we'll still haven't decided whether to have the original animation maybe pull the animation data from the animation field, or if we should have this push to that field and just save it here. Save it here like temporarily. So yeah, there's a few weird things we gotta figure out. Thank you for the head pats, cool Jim Twitch. I'm not really sure where to go with this, but I think we have a vague path forward to solve the animation swap problem for the editor. It's just gonna get maybe a little bit messier than I'd like. Like, it'd be really nice if I could actually have in the animation editor that thing. Like the animation name just like show up right here. Of course, when we do the animation swap, it's gonna go away, but it's just really aggressive head pats, so you know. Actually, I wonder if there's any way to make this value show up, the original animation value show up right here. Here's the hint. Working on the model creator? Yes. Yes. We're working on like our animation swap system and kind of butting up against some aspects of the design here of the engine. What makes this field appear here on the node itself? Is kind of a question I have right now. Like we should be able to add fields there, right? Get parameter list. When inheriting from an animation root node, implementing this virtual method to return the list of properties on this animation node. Parameters are custom local memory used for your animation nodes given a resource, blah, 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 blah. Alright, let's see what that looks like. What's it called again? Get parameter list. Which is not the same as get properties, right? So, alright. Oop, that's an error. Invalid call, non-existent function get parameter list. What? Oh, that's for the parameters that you can like wiggle, and that's actually a different list. Frick. Get parameter. Maybe? Yeah, you know, it's like it's for things like the like this right here. This parameter. That shows up if we click on the animation tree, that shows up over here. So when we add those two things together, you know, actually modifies both spots at once. And similarly, we have this we have an animation name right here. We also have it on these ones. And I feel like that is probably one of the parameter list items, right? So it says it has a similar format. We're not actually getting any info here about like the exact like format of the list. Format is similar to object.getPropertyList. Implement this virtual method to return a list of properties on the animation node. Okay, let's see what the C++ side says. Get parameter list. I see. Yeah, that is pretty similar to the property hints that we've seen. Okay. So if we find the animation node animation, there we go. It just adds the name. Wait. Cool. It's backwards. Well, that doesn't even have the animation name. It adds a little backwards option, which I don't see anywhere on here. Yeah, none of these mention the name of the animation at all, which means that we are probably talking about some where the animation is probably something that's stored somewhere else. There's booleans about forward, backward animation, whatever. So how does it decide what things go like right here? How does it decide? Bucky, come on. Someone wants to see you. Bucky. Okay. Alright, that's probably not gonna work for us here. How do we get something that actually shows up in the UI here? Maybe it's not a big deal, because like in the other trees the things don't show up in the UI either, but like whatever. Or in like the blend space editor, you have to like do everything over the inspector instead of down here, so like whatever. What other? Oh, there's a process. Oh, it's deprecated. Damn it. Currently, this is mostly useless as there is a lack of many APIs to extend animation node by GDScript. It's planned that a more flexible API using structures will be provided in the future. Inheriting from animation root node implements a virtual method to run some code when this animation node is processed. A time parameter is a relative delta, blah 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 blah. No. That's not going to be a place that we can hook into. Blend animation. Blends animation by blend amount, blah 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 blah. Okay, get parameter. Path filtered is. I want something that I can hook into to just like do the animation swap thing. Has filter, is parameter read only, process, add input, blend animation, blah 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 blah, find input, etc. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to like manually swap and unswap these things. I think that's what it comes down to. Well, that's actually okay. I think. I mean, we can obviously like add or like swap and unswap things here at this point. That's we can do it when we're about to save, when we've instantiated the model. Like we can do all the animation swapping stuff there. I think I'm just like trying to figure out where the animation data actually lives. I'm leaning towards having the swappable, so having the animation field normally store the animation, and that way it would just work by default if you don't have any animation swaps. and then only filling in original animation if we if we do an animation swap. So original animation would end up being a temporary place to store that animation name. And we make it like not be exported and saved then. Now, you know what? We'll make original animation be the actual thing that stores that data about the animation. So this will be original animation to use the animation property will be filled with this by default. This when initializing. Let's say, what does validate property actually do in Jodot? Because I think we'll just have like a is swap active thing. This is all the way the hell back on the object type. Oh, we gotta wrap up stream. Damn it. Oh, interesting. Notify property list changed. There is actually a notification on objects that doesn't seem to get called when stuff changes anyway, so I don't know if that's... I don't think it's useful to us. Alright, then I'll have another, like, variable, is anim swap active. Cool, equals false. And so the idea is we would... let's make a function func update swaps. If is anim swap active, if swapped animation not equal to animation, then animation equals swap animation. So that will... Okay. Otherwise, okay, so that'll set the animation based on like which one is active. Let's actually call this swap active. And then we'll say for the setter for that is going to be swap active equals value of type bool. And then we're gonna call updates swaps. Expected blah after we do that? Okay. Actually, we'll go ahead and set export var on that too, so you can mess around with it in the editor. This will toggle the swap on and off. Overwriting the animation property. Update the animation property. Update the animation property based on whether the swap is active or not. Okay. Now if we head into this is we're actually gonna have functionality now. I really gotta wrap up stream though. But if we hop to the animation tree, go to the 3D scene, animation tree. So now we should be able to say swap active and turn that on or off. Let's give it an... Ooh, wait, that's interesting. The animation property is no longer... Can't add animation library twice, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, now it's working. Okay. So we're going to say the original animation is... Oh, wait a minute. That break like that. Okay, so original animation is going to be jump, and the swapped animation is going to be spider dance 2. We're just going to feed this directly into the output for now. On blend tree node animation, animation not found, and then yeah, we can turn the swap on and off like that. Okay, I think that'll have to do, there's probably some things that we'll have to adjust for. We'll have to make sure that update call actually gets called a lot more often. So like when the costume initializes, when this editor scene initializes, all that stuff. I wish I could have a callback when these parameters, or when these things change, but it looks like the notification... Actually, what if we just add... do that. Yeah, that doesn't actually notify us when any of the properties change or anything, so I'll try restarting the editor, and then I'm gonna figure out someone to raid while we're doing this though. Oh, hey, we took long enough that we actually get to raid, there's too many cool people online right now, damn. Let's raid, Yuki. It's been a while. Yeah, we'll raid Yuki. Let me get her stream up here. Alright, she's in an ad break right now, but... Or maybe that's just my pre-roll. Okay, well, in the meantime, we'll actually kick off the raid. Where the heck did my tablet? There it is. Alright, there's the raid message. Well, thank you everyone for joining me for another Weekday Morning Art / Dev stream. Really appreciate having you all here. You're all awesome and amazing. Hope to see you next time. Take it easy, take care, be kind, show compassion, show empathy, don't get in a knife fight, use containers, and stay safe. That's everything, right? Alright, get out of here, everyone. We'll figure out what the hell is going on with... Did Jodoc crash again? Or did I... Oh, I was restarting it. Okay. Let's just see if this last final bit works here. I'll try to make sure that I'll be beside you again once more. Be the one who guides you. Animation tree, select that thing, and mess with stuff. Oh, hey, look, everything's broken again. I think these... Frick, come on. Why are you not validating? The validation thing isn't working. Damn it. Alright. Whatever. Have a good one, everyone. Get out of here.